Find it suspicious it happened just as the hour was about to turn. I wonder what that has to do with.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, right about 7, like last time it was 8 o'clock. It was saying.
We're back on?
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate what you're saying about the outreach, and I'm trying to generate a list of where I can do.
You're
we
never gonna get a list, Derek. There's always a new developer.
No, not that. It's before we didn't have a notify me function at the county that I'm aware of. We now do. I'm working to get that. This only went up a couple months ago, maybe a few months ago. I can't remember how long that's been up. But anyways, point being is we've got for example, the comprehensive plan list, and things like that. So we're going to start putting together and putting opportunities for folks to sign up for a notification list, and then they'll get notified. We just don't have that established yet. So your comments are well received, and they're actually, we've noticed it, and we are working to get that better. I hope to have that probably finished sometime in March, within a few weeks. It's just a matter of coordinating with some folks and making sure that what I think will actually
Yeah,
work.
I really do appreciate that, and I want to be constructive in it. I just found out about this, and I just didn't have the bandwidth to be able to dig in
Also,
enough.
just know this is not the last hearing. There will be a hearing before the board, not a closed record hearing. It'll be
Open
a
record
scheduled open record hearing, and then they'll hold as many hearings on the subject as they desire. Because again, this is legislative. This is not a one and done type of situation. This is code. We've been working on this for quite a while, and it's come and gone, and that's part of it too. For us, we've been doing this for a long time and pretty much figure that folks that were interested, but I also understand exactly what you're saying. So we will be working on that better outreach. This isn't the only subject that's going to be coming. We've got some big ones coming, and we just need to make sure that as we put that together, it saves us a lot of hassle down the road.
Thank you.
Things aren't.
And if I may add to that and make a comment, just a general, I know that you aren't all planning nerds like me and my coworkers, and that you don't follow on the edges of your seat all of these activities that are going on in our communities. As planning commissioners, it is part of your unspoken duty to be ambassadors for the county and for what's going on. And it's very clear with quasi-judicial items that you're not supposed to talk about it with anybody, and you're all very well trained on that and very conscientious about it. However, with legislative items, go blab, go open your big mouths, go to your communities and talk to them and share these documents, because that's, the planning department's not trying to hide anything, is not trying to hide these documents. We're trying to make them better and make them work better, and so for you to go out into your communities and spread the news, it's part of your job.
Okay, so I would like to ask you a question, and do not take this in the wrong way in any form. I want to know what would make it easier for you after I give you some examples. You're in the business, and I think you're responsible to read the Franklin County Graphic and the Tri-City Herald. We know that's where things get posted. When I want to bid on a state job or a state piece of ground that comes up for rent, I would love to get a direct call or a direct notice, but I don't get those. I have to be aware, and I have to watch the papers and the few venues that I know that information comes through. When I want something like that, it is my job and my responsibility to do that. It's very hard for Derek to get that to every interested party. What would you think is a better way to do it? What ideas would you have?
So I do appreciate that. So good updated information is really powerful. And I'll give you an example of that. I was 45 minutes ago, I was on the county's website looking at maps. And there's maps that were current back in, I think it was December, that are still not updated on the county's page. So current information would be great. And I can't tell you about the searchable. City of Pasco's miserable to try to search their website, so I don't know exactly the search side of this, but
Okay, let me ask you a question before I
Okay.
forget, because I will forget these things.
Okay.
I have to interrupt as I see it. So you search the website, would this information be on our website that would say we have upcoming, it is?
so I didn't search that. I will now,
Okay.
at that prompting, I will do that.
If there was is that the only thing that's laid out, is that we're gonna have it in the 2 papers, or is there another way
Oh,
to access this?
It gets posted on the website.
It's posted on the website, the agenda, the packet.
Yeah.
So-
And applicants are also
So,
sent copies on
yeah, I'm kind of-
quasi judicial.
So most of the stuff is updated. It's posted on what's called like the Agenda Center or something like that.
So let me respond in just a little bit different way, and I'll give you a couple of examples. So I know every single time Booker Auction is going to have an auction, and Musser's going to have an auction, because they're outreaching to me constantly, right? I get on their list and I can't hardly get off of it. I think that needs to happen. I think government needs to work hard for the people. And that happens. I get on lists that I don't even know how I got there. And they're telling me, they tell me a month in advance, 2 weeks in advance, a week in advance, 2 days in advance, a day in advance. I think we need to be better about that. I work in 7 jurisdictions right now. And so in Franklin County, I've got the City of Pasco, Franklin County, I've got ecology, and I've got, there's so many jurisdictions, and I'm trying, I'm very engaged. I try to understand, but when there's a public meeting that is posted in the Connell graphic, I just don't have the bandwidth, and I don't know of anybody that has the bandwidth to be able to watch all of their area that well. And I mean, an email, it's not hard to get on an email list anywhere else, and I think that would be probably the primary way.
And frankly, it's a new technology for us to have an email
And
list.
that's why that
Yeah.
I'm not beating on you too hard, but I'm saying email's not
But we
hard.
do have it. So, yeah, we
So
will
how
be
would you
working.
build that list? How would
So-
it's on that list?
We have, well, one, we would say, if you want to get notified, click here, and that'll generate the list. We also have a starter list from the folks that were interested in the comp plan that we're sending email notices to. And, so, we'll start building it. It's not gonna be perfect now, but over time, and then we just get in the habit. But I've got to get together with IS, figure out how things work.
So
Yes.
to kind of expand on that, so anytime I post on the Agenda Center, it automatically will kick me prompts, and I do it as well, where I push it to people that are on the list.
Yeah.
On the
So
planning
we'll get
commission.
that set up.
Yeah, so I thought I was on our list. You and I talked about that recently. There's the shoreline master plan that's happening right now. I didn't know about it. He said something about it at a commissioners meeting, and I said, hey, when is this? It was coming up the next week. I said, let me know, I'll be there, and I was there. So I want to know. I will engage. I just,
Oh, yeah.
I think that we just, I think it's time that we do this on purpose, that we, on purpose. And I'm not asking for you to go to great lengths and a lot of money, but an email is really helpful.
Yep.
Does that answer your question?
I have a question. And I think I'm going to refer back to one of your comments earlier, Steve. You talked about some of the other outfits here in the Tri-Cities that are constantly sending you and doing the outreach in many ways. I don't know if the government sector or the area that's supposed to be doing the outreach is set up to do SEO management. Most of these companies have someone who is constantly advising and putting forefront through the website and pushing those ads out to consistently trigger that motion of getting you involved to get in there, right? So my question would be, you recently found out about this, correct? When you found out about this, were any of your colleagues, I'm sure you know a lot of other developers and a lot of people, engineers in your industry, was there anybody that you knew also that did not know about this?
I guess I didn't ask in that way. I guess I really didn't ask that. I just thought about it. You guys actually have a lot of this already in-house. So the clerk of the board of the commissioners, I want to say it was about a year or a year and a half ago that she put together a list that it is an unmonitored email that she puts it in and it goes boom and it goes to everybody in that. And that's really, I mean,
Yeah.
every single week I search and I pull up the agenda and see what's on it. And that's really, really helpful. So you guys actually already have a lot of that.
That's what I'm saying. We've got this system now. When I first came here, I asked, they said, we don't have such a thing. Then a couple years goes by. Now we do have stuff, but that just came, that I'm aware of, available with the website update. But this, because of the items that we've got going on right now, it's before it was kind of like, oh, I'll get to it when I can get to it, and you never seem to get to it. We've got a lot of weird things coming, not weird things, but pretty big deals. SMP is one. Subdivision, we're hoping to get into our zoning code this year as well. So we'll get it set up.
I do appreciate that.
And like I said, I'm going to be shooting for by the end of March. I hope to have it going, if not before.
And the reason I asked that question, because I initially asked about the public outreach and how it was done from our last meeting to now, till now. I'm pretty diversified in the community, and I know quite a bit of also developers and engineers, and I sent them all an email, kind of did the same thing that other two commissioners did, and nobody else knew about this. So did they make any comments? I don't know. I just left it on their table. But again, that's the only reason I ask, is because I was pretty surprised that 15 people didn't know about it as well.
So until Mr. Harpster reached out to me, I didn't know. And I didn't have the full bandwidth to dig into it page by page, but I did go through it, and there's stuff, of course, that, we could get nitpicky about, but, by and large, I think it's probably okay. And I'll certainly look through it further, but I appreciate that outreach. I just think that surely with the technology and with stuff we have, that there's a way that we can get it out there. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay. Any clarification of, does staff have any final comments?
No.
We're not gonna vote on anything, are we?
You
We're supposed to.
need to make a
No, you make your recommendation.
recommendation to the Board of County Commissioners
So it is done.
to approve it or to conditionally
It's
agree
done
with
by
it.
this
Yeah,
body,
yeah.
but it's not,
I got it.
and again, you can show up at the board hearings too, if, and still comment at those.
Is there
So,
any clarification of public statements needed by anyone from the audience? Public testimony portion of the public hearing for TC 2022-1, SEPA 2022-30 is closed. Is there any discussion amongst planning commission prior to entertaining a motion? I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we forward to the Board of Commissioners a recommendation of approval for TC 2022-01 /SEPA 2022-30 with the 6 adopted findings of fact.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
It has been moved by Commissioner Harpster and seconded by Commissioner Gutierrez that we forward the Board of Commissioners a recommendation of approval for TC 2022-1, SEPA 2022-30 with the 6 adopted findings of fact. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, may we have a roll call vote, please?
Mike Rallis,
Yes.
Stacy Knifton,
Yes.
Manny Gutierrez,
Yes.
Peter Harpster.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, the motion has been approved.
Okay. That's it. member of the audience who wants to comment on an item not listed on the agenda? Any update on previous items?
Not tonight.
No. Preview of items coming to the planning commission at the next meeting.
We have, that's March, not April. So, what did we have? I don't think we have any, we may not have anything for March.
Well, no, we got. Yeah, that's right. We got the Mullen rezone.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Mullen rezone, all right.
Forgot about that.
April is gonna be the fun one.
Yeah.
April will be the comp plan amendment.
No, we have 3 items. We have, what all do we have?
We got an ADU. God, what was the other? Oh,
I
yeah, there
don't-
was another
yeah.
rezone, and then we got the S&P.
And then we've got the comp plan amendments that we've got floating around. Those will probably be in May, because we're just booked out. Yeah, we gotta get those. God. Why'd you ask that? No. It's depressing me on how much stuff's coming ahead.
Okay, so-
Because always February's a short month too, so
So the
March.
big meeting is March or April, did you say?
April
April.
is gonna be, no, March is gonna be pretty, I mean, there's one item on that one, if I recall correctly. April's got 3, and May's got at least, I think, 1 or 2. But I'll have to go back and check again. I just got a rezone. Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's a lot coming. I just can't remember it all, and I don't want to give wrong dates. So, but yeah, we may be having some late meetings for the next few months.
Planning commission meeting is adjourned at 7:17.